I can hear it. That clock is ticking. It's after 11 o'clock, and that means it is time for your favorite show and mine, Countdown to Armageddon. And I'm your host, Publius. And today I want to go to an article I just read involving Chuck Schumer betraying bipartisanship for good. This is from Blabberbuzz. And as you can see, it was written today, Monday, May 3rd, 2021 at 12:45 in the afternoon. And what has it got? Well, as the White House is trying to negotiate on one hand, Democrats are basically saying, screw the White House, screw bipartisanship, we're just going to go ahead and do what we want. Their willingness to go solo means bipartisan talks aren't really worth the time and effort, because they have decided that they don't need the Republicans. They were going to use their ideas of reconciliation to force the government to do what they want, regardless of what is right. Folks, we've known for a while the Democrats don't believe in compromise. Their definition of compromise has always been, do what we want now, and we'll think about doing what you want later. I mean, this is the whole wimpy mindset. And again, of course, reconciliation is an option. We hope to do as much as we can in a bipartisan way, but the number one goal is to do what we want regardless. Folks, the Democrats in the Senate don't give a shit about the Constitution. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about me. I mean, why else would they propose these plans of theirs? Their whole goal is to see the U.S. government take over the economy and put us all as slaves to them as masters. And they're going to use every little trick they can. Without these tricks, they would have to get 10 Republicans, and that ain't going to happen. So, what are they going to do? Well, part of the problem is there's only so many ways they can use reconciliation, and only so many times it can be used. So the question comes, when are the Democrats going to decide that the idea of governing isn't just to get your way, it's to compromise and work things out? I'm sorry, the idea that Congress would be ruled by one party is so antithetical of what our founders wanted. I mean, they didn't even want parties. Now, this is the part that gets me. If Section 304 of the Congressional Budget Act gives them the power to use it 3 times, but yet it's only supposed to be used once. The process is only technically allowed to be used once every fiscal year. Pointing to the language, it says that the two houses may adopt a concurrent resolution on the budget which revises or reaffirms the concurrent resolution on the budget for such fiscal year most recently agreed to. Basically, they're going to twist things and get what they want. We have no choice but to move forward. That's right, because they know their odds of getting into this position again are slimmer and slimmer every year. As more and more people wake up and realize that the old adage about the Democrats is true, they are the tax and spend party. Their whole goal is to do what they want and then basically turn the United States into a socialist regime. The question is whether enough of them are going to join. You have Senator Joe Manchin, who I actually am starting to like more and more, that he wants at least part of the bill to be bipartisan. He's opposed several parts of Biden's tax plan, so the question is going to come down, is Chuck able to twist Manchin's arm enough to get him to side with the Democrats? I don't know. But the point is, until such point as the Democrats finally have their showdown, we're going to be kept wondering. We're going to be kept guessing whether or not the Democrats are going to pull off their coup and basically dictate to you and I what should be allowed. Folks, this is not good. And if you're sitting there wondering why this is not good, think about it. Do you agree with everything the Democrats stand for? Do you agree with everything that Biden has come up with in his super proposals? You're looking at $6 trillion in spending this year. You know that's not the end of it. It's going to keep growing. It's going to keep spending. Because, hey, you can't say I'm broke. You still got checks, right? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this country's in trouble. And the sooner we realize it, the sooner we have a chance to do something about it. As long as we continue voting one party over the other and letting these people dictate the terms, the longer we're going to be puppets. We're going to be slaves to the regime. If you look at the present situation and go, well, at least it's not Trump, then you're part of the problem. It isn't what the last person was like, whether you liked him or not. It's what they're doing now. And if you're going to continue to say, well, I don't care what he does as long as he's not Trump, then when you put that collar on yourself, remember, you chose to be a slave. It's time for us to realize, as so many attorney generals across the country have, that socialism is growing in this country. Talk to anybody who's immigrated from a socialist country. Ask them, do they want to return to this? Would they like to return to the country they fled from? And they'll tell you no, because socialism doesn't work. Schumer and his aides and the rest of these people in D.C. are all set to turn us into the next totalitarian state. I mean, Biden wouldn't mind because then he gets to rule by fiat. Nancy wouldn't mind as long as she gets to rule. The question is, who's going to be doing the ruling? I don't know. The point is, you all need to sit back and think this thing through. It's time for us to call our congressmen, call our senators, and tell them, stop this. If you can't do a bipartisan bill, don't. If you don't have 60 votes, you ain't getting through the Senate. Stop this sneaking it through the back door. I mean, that's how the Democrats have been operating for such a long time. They don't like something in the Constitution, so they try to sneak an amendment through the back door. Same thing applies to their whole concept of making Washington, D.C. an independent state. That's so against the Constitution, it's not even funny. They don't have the guts to go to the American public and get an amendment passed because they know it'll never pass. They don't want to change the amendments, they just want you to forget they're there. They don't want to change the Constitution, they just want you to forget it's there. Americans have got to start realizing this is our contract. Our contract is the Constitution, not what they're saying, not what they're doing. We need to get them to stop. And if we don't, then eventually one side is going to dictate to the world exactly how we're supposed to live. And with no limitations, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. Alright, let's see what else we can find under today's news. Next thing I want to talk to you about is, nowadays, stating the truth can get you fired. A New Jersey teacher was suspended after referring to George Floyd as a criminal. Well, he was a criminal. He broke the law. He broke the law several times. And yet, he lost his job as a high school teacher and his job at the community college. Why? Because he had the nerve to say that George Floyd was not a hero, was actually a criminal. The idea that he was suspended from the high school and his job, the actions of this teacher took are not representative of the district in the most diverse city in the country. All because Musab Ali doesn't like the idea of you telling the truth. We are appalled by the statements, profanity, disrespect, and treatment of the students. You know, since when does saying somebody broke the law and that makes them a criminal wrong? Isn't that what criminal means? That you broke the law? Isn't that the word we have? But again, remember, Democrats are in control. Their idea is they get to pick and choose what words mean. It isn't illegal aliens, it's undocumented people. Undocumented, as in they're here illegally. But no, we can't say that because we don't like that. This country is going to hell in a handbag, and the sooner we realize it, the better off we'll be. Alright, this is Publius giving you my latest update. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, hit the like button anyway. Share this video with your friends, your relatives, your enemies, your co-workers, everybody. And remember, you can always donate to this through this platform or by following the links down below in the comment section. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.